Brought to you by CHM, a biblically based alternative to health insurance. Learn more at chministries.org/budget.
I got a question about our will. My wife is 63. I'm 60, or she's 62. I'm 64. We have two children, and adult children, and we have right now our will divided 50-50. My son has a history of blowing money, and we have stopped helping some years ago. Also, there's other concerns. He's in a lifestyle and a relationship that we don't agree with. And so the question is really simple. Is it appropriate to change the will where one adult child is a beneficiary of, a decreased amount?
Yes. It's
okay.
Totally appropriate. But the goal is not to be a punishing force.
Exactly.
The goal is I don't want to finance things I don't agree with.
Okay.
With my death. Okay. And my value system is not matching. And so, I'm not going to, finance, an extreme situation that I always use just to kind of illustrate the concept. And it's not what you've got, but I mean, if your kid's doing heroin and you leave them a bunch of money, you killed them because they're going to overdose. Because they're now a well-financed heroin addict, and so you're not doing them a favor to finance their bad choices from the grave. And so,
is this something we communicate?
Yes, God, please, yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to destroy his relationship with his brother,
the sibling.
Okay. Yeah. It's a daughter and a son.
You're going to destroy it because you're going to leave all this to the daughter, and then when you pass away,
he's going to be pissed at her like she did something and she didn't do anything. So, John makes some. What's the gentlest? Because you'd want to make sure you're not using. If it's me, I would have a tendency to be doling this out as punishment, and I have to make sure I get my heart right that I am not doing that, but instead I'm doing this to not finance the wrong things.
That's been a 2 to 3 year process of making sure my heart is right. This is something we could have done some years ago, but
I mean, John, how do you gently have this conversation?
Well, if like you say, if you're worried about him blowing money, I always like there to be a path to redemption, and so. If there is no path, there's no path, and then there's not a gentle way other than to treat the person with dignity and respect and be kind and say it and expect the blowback that you're going to anticipate. But don't become somebody you're not in an effort to have a hard conversation, right? The other side of it is if this person has a history of blowing money, a history of addiction, a history of whatever, and you've cut them off financially, being able to say, I want to love and support you, but I'm not willing to do it in this way. If you get on this plan, if you want to sit down and get some support in these ways, man, I'm all open. But as of right now, here's my decision.
Yeah, and this is not our relationship I'm cutting off. It's just the money.
Right.
Yeah.
I still love you, and you can't do anything you can't do anything bad enough to make me not love you.
Even logistically, you've got a child who's single. You've got another one who's got 2 kids. So could we present it even logistically?
No.
Hey,
I think you just tell them the truth. Just tell them the truth. Yeah. We're not aligned on these things, honey, and we're not aligned on these things, and we love you anyway. But you need to know also that we don't feel right about leaving money to finance things that we're not aligned on. And so I just want to let you know that your sister has nothing to do with this, but we are changing the will because of these decisions you have made. And so, if you decide not to do that anymore, then we can talk about that. But and it's not a punishment. It's because we just don't send money to things that we don't think it's morally or ethically correct to send money to things we don't agree with. Yeah. And so, and so on. And I don't know that the conversation needs to be lengthy. I really wouldn't get into who shot who.
Very short. And always, it's kind of like a termination of employment. Here's the hard thing. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be back here in a week, or I know this is hard to digest. This is challenging, whatever. If you want to talk some further about it, I'd love to circle back with you on it. But I just want you to know this is some choices we've made, because at that moment it's fight or flight. Everyone's defending themselves. and lashing out or shutting down.
Don't try to explain it.
Right. Not in that moment.
Don't give a whole bunch of details as to why.
Not in that moment.
It's just these a couple things here we're not aligned on. And, based on that, your mom and I have talked about it, and we don't think it's morally correct for us to leave money to things that we're not aligned on. But it doesn't mean we don't love you.
Here's the biggest thing out of this. I just was having a conversation with somebody outside of this building recently about this very thing. You will poison their relationship with their sibling or with aunt and uncle, whoever you leave this money to, if you don't have the courage to have the conversation while you're still alive. Have the conversation. I talked to a sibling whose parent called and said, I'm moving all the money to you, and will not have the conversation. And I said, well, circle back and say, thank you for destroying my relationship with my sibling. It goes wrong every time.
That's cowardly.
Correct.
Yeah. So, that you've got to. And the way we always make fun of it here on the air is like, if you're going to piss somebody off with your will, do it while you're alive. It's that kind of thing. Because you are going to get blowback on this too, by the way. Don't expect this conversation to go well.
It goes poorly 100% of the time.
Yeah. It's not going to go well. But what's the saying you use? I can't remember. It's regret is...
choose guilt over resentment.
Yeah, choose guilt over resentment. Yeah.
You're going to feel guilty about taking the money, whatever. Otherwise, you're just going to live every moment resenting your kid for future behavior they may or may not do after you're gone.
And they don't even know they're doing it.
Right.
Yet. So, that's the whole thing.
CHM isn't health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry. Check it out for yourself at chministries.org/budget.